How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to the house of Fata Morgana. Last time, I believe we ended the chapter that takes place in the developing new American land, developing with the railroad, Jacopo. I think it's over. We'll probably do a brief summary here, but ultimately, they were driven against each other by Maria, who eventually was also killed. Jacopo tried to find his wife, but she had run off and was obviously mad. It's not, once again, a terrible fate, but it indicated there was something bigger going on, something more important. That there was a message that seemed to be from Maria's past life of some kind that talked about a curse of the house of the witch and how all their lives have become effectively cyclical, that they are recurring over and over again, and that they're all tied to this mansion in some way. So I'm interested to see if we're going to learn more about that. But I'm not too sure exactly what's going to happen, so we'll just have to find out. So, I guess without further ado, let's jump in and find out what the next series of memories is going to be. And if I'll even get a... Last time I had, between sections, I had like an interlude I was able to find, so let's see if there's anything else like that coming up too. The door before you slowly drew shut. You could no longer hear the raucous sounds from the men from within the den. The faint scent of cigarette smoke, however, lingered in the air. Staring vaguely at the closed door, you noticed something was amiss. The maid, who had been holding your hand, was no longer at your side. You glanced around, but she was nowhere in sight. Down the corridor stretched only darkness. Not having anticipated this, you were unsure how to react. What's the matter? You lost? Or are you just trying to take in the sights? A voice called out to you, but it was not the maid's voice. Caught off guard, you spun around, confused, in search of the source. Where are you looking? I'm over here. Yeah, there you go. Little more to the left. Following the voice's instruction, you find yourself facing a wall. It's a painting, isn't it? You look like you've just seen a ghost. Hey, now, come on, don't turn away. Yep, you got it. I'm the one talking to you. The voice was coming from within the painting. When you had passed it on the wall on your way to the third door, a magnificent landscape painting had been hanging here. But now the canvas was a deep shade of black, as if it had been dipped into a vat of ink. Man in the painting. Been a while since I've talked to anyone. So tell me, you can hear me all right, can't you? Splendid. Been so long since I've had a conversation, I was afraid I might have forgotten how to talk. So tell me, who might you be? You don't know? Well, isn't that quite the pickle? Then how about we have a little chat, huh? You got yourself turned around and aren't sure where to go, yeah? Well, I'll be happy to tell you anything I can. Just ask away. The painting sounded rather high-spirited. Perhaps he was simply excited to have the opportunity to speak with someone. So you decided you would have to ask the painting a few questions. Good, I mean, in such a situation, what other choice do you have? I mean, we've already gone through the rabbit hole into Wonderland, so I mean, talking painting? Pfft, yeah. Interesting. Who am I? Or who is the maid? Those are the two questions I want to ask. Who are you? I have a feeling he won't answer. What is this place? It's the mansion. Don't think we're going to get much more than that. Who am I? Would be nice to know. Who is the maid? Also very nice to know. But who am I? Who am I? Just because you don't know who you are doesn't mean you can go around asking other people. I'm not a person. I'm not a person, you say? Well, no, you're right, but I'm not going to know anything about you that you can't tell me yourself. I mean, from where I'm standing, you look almost like a walking cloud of shadow. I can't even tell you what you look like. The maid who was with you before, she did call you master. I see. The question is, which era's master are you? How many doors have you been through? 3 doors, huh? And of those, did any of them bring anything back? Ah, well, it's not an easy thing to recovering yourself. Now, interesting, bringing anything back. The only one I can remember bringing anything back was the merchant. Remember how we were able to glimpse into some of his, some memories of his past and his perspective the maid couldn't, like, who wasn't aware that we could see. So maybe we're the beast again. Or maybe you weren't behind any of those 3 doors. Yeah, that's gotta be it. That wasn't your first time witnessing. That was your first time witnessing those tragedies. Yours is another door. So tell me, how'd you feel looking behind those doors? Was it frightening, saddening, heart-wrenching? Well, let me tell you something. You were able to bear them because they weren't your tragedies. If the next door you open is yours, will you be able to bear it? Will you be able to accept your own tragedy? It's one thing seeing other suffering, but your own. If you have to face emotions you wanted to keep buried, secrets you wanted to keep hidden away, and pain you wanted to forget, do you think you'll be able to accept them as your own? If you can't, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't accuse you of running, or choosing not to reclaim your old self. Nothing's wrong with erasing your memory of something if it was so bad you didn't want to face it in the first place. Let it be rewritten as someone else's story. That'll make it a whole lot easier on you. Because you never know, the most unfortunate tale of all may well be your own. Or perhaps that goes for everything about you. You won't know till you see it. Well, that's true enough. But once you do, there might not be any turning back. Or do you mean to reclaim your old self no matter the cost? If you do, if you sincerely prepare to do that, then be wary of the tale that comes next. Any tragedy that seems too beautiful to be real is precisely that. A fabrication. Interesting. If it turns out you're someone from behind the next door, then perhaps you're my... Who is the maid? Might as well ask her that directly. But she won't say till you've regained your old self. I see. Well, in that case, you want to know, you know what you gotta do. It's entirely up to you whether you make an ally or an enemy out of her. There's no guarantee she's even right in the head. You never know. Maybe you're not the only one who hasn't found themselves. Interesting. Well, that's... Who are you? Me? Well, as you can see, I'm a painting. Why did I end up as a painting? Hard to say. Maybe I was reborn as a painting because I used to really like art. Though there are things I painted that I wish I hadn't. Maybe that's regrets what turned me into this. Hopefully I get the chance to apologize to him about that. Anywho, no point getting into any more detail than that. Wouldn't mean anything to you, so enough about me. Oh, right. You don't know anything about yourself. A shame, that. Alright then. A favor for you, since you can't tell me about yourself. If you run into him, could you tell him I really regret what I did? I know I should tell him myself, but, well, as you can see, I'm stuck here. I can't move an inch, so I've got to ask for help. I feel absolutely terrible about painting that picture. I know, yeah, the deadline's way past on that one, but that's what makes it a regret, yeah? Because you can't take it back. By the time I'd realized, it was too late. He was already dead. He's long since passed away. Huh? How are you supposed to give a dead fellow a message? Well, for all you know, the dead could be wandering these halls too. So please, if you come across him, tell him I said so. I didn't mean any harm with that painting. Or maybe you are him. Interesting. And what is this place? Like, what is it truly? Ugh, talk about some hard-hitting questions. I'm probably not the one you'll want to be able to answer that for you. I don't have a very deep connection with this mansion, you see. I swear, I got nothing to gain from lying, do I? It's my regrets that I've turned me into this. I wasn't summoned here by no one. That said, there is one thing I can tell you. This place summons people. People with ties to something that happened long, long ago. No one knows anything ever happened. I didn't know either, till she told me. Though I haven't the foggiest how much of it's true or not. Are you here because you were summoned by her? Or did you come here of your own will to find someone? If you came here of your own volition, and you weren't summoned by her, then mayhaps you'll be the one who can break the curse. Haven't talked that much in a long time. Feels great. And now I've got it out of my system, I should be able to get some good sleep. You're probably still wandering in the dark right now, but I really hope you find the outcome you want. And I mean that. You can either reclaim your old self, or you can toss it aside. The choice is yours either way. Now, since it looks like your escort isn't showing up, what do you plan to do next? How about taking a look around the place since you've got a little free time? Could be you come across some things you wouldn't with her around. Oh, right, if you're gonna go exploring, I've got the perfect thing. Stick your hand into the canvas, would you? The painting was still wrapped in an impenetrable darkness. A perfect all-consuming void. The man had told you to put your hand into it. You... See, the problem is he's been too friendly. Now I'm convinced he's gonna do something terrible. But... last time I just threw myself into a mirror, and that was good. I really don't want to get a bad ending. I know they're in here. But, I don't know. I've always said fortune favors the bold. The bold. The bold. Fetch. I'm screwed. You extend your hand for the painting. The moment your fingertips brush against this darkness, it swallows your entire hand up to the wrist. No, not there. That tickles. A little to the right. The man in the painting had instructed you grope around inside the darkness. Before long, you felt something hard at your fingertips. Gross. Clenching the object, you withdrew your hand. Your arm was still intact. Well, that's good. You spread your fingers, and you found a key. Oh, interesting. Looks like it has a skull in its pattern. Ah, that tickled. With that key, you can access the master's bedroom. A while back, she tossed it into me. The darn little bug. It's like, yeah, ain't mine. Don't worry about giving it back. However, I bet there's something worth seeing in there. And she felt the need to toss that key. Alright, well, I'm gonna go get some sleep. You take care. If you happen to learn my name, come pay me another visit. Should the fancy strike you. Interesting. Very interesting. Having said that, the painting felt quiet. In your hand lay a small key. It seemed rather antiquated, and vaguely familiar. Silence once again drew over the corridor. You stood there all alone, and no sign of the maid. After considering it for a few moments, you decided to explore the mansion on your own. Well, there's a lot here. I immediately want to go to the master bedroom. I also want to see, well, the Rose Garden, I wonder, okay. It looks like we can visit some of the old places again. But you know what? Once again, fortune favors the bold. I kind of want to go see the master bedroom. Should I do it right away? You know what? I think I should before the maid comes back. Because I don't want them, if I have time alone, this seems to be the time to try something like this. Probably jumping the gun, probably a lot more exploring I could do, but I want to give it a shot. You insert the key you have been given into the door's keyhole, and with a twist, the door opened. The master bedroom was shrouded in darkness, much like every other room in the mansion. It had evidently been left unused for some time. The air in the room was stale and forlorn. Master. A voice seemed to ring out from somewhere. Come on, get up. Is this the maid? Up with you. Master. Oh boy. I think this might be the white hair girl, I wonder. I don't know. See, what did I tell you? It's so much nicer in here with a little light. Without warning, your whole world took on a bright, vivid colors. Light streamed through the window, illuminated by a well-lit bedroom. A woman's silhouette stood before you. Wait a sec. Don't you hide under your bedspread? Get out of there. Oh, but master, you agreed that I could open the windows. Don't worry, I'll put the curtains up. If it gets too bright, you can draw them. Mornings take the best parts of being outside and squeeze them all in the little same few hours. You don't have to go outside in the sunlight for it either, just listen to all the wonderful sounds. The joyous songs of the birds, the swaying of trees, the rustles of leaves. You tried to call out to the silhouette, but it did not respond. Reaching out for her, your hand simply passes through her body. It did not seem to be you that she was speaking to. Perhaps you were looking at a scene from some other period of time. Am I being as pushy as I feel right now? I completely misjudged you. You're the exact opposite of what I thought you were. Let's see. I thought you were cold and cruel, heartless and incomprehensible. But I'm beginning to get a better idea. You try to put on airs, but you're really rather childish. You have a short temper, but can be surprisingly playful. What else? You have a pretty difficult personality, too. Now, hear me out. That's not everything. You gave me a chance to talk, and you listened intently. You can be kind of nice, too. We agreed that we could live together, not just in the same house, so you've got plenty of time to add more to the list. And I hope you can make your own list about me, too. This is just the beginning, after all. We've got a long, long time ahead of us. Plenty enough to get to know each other, no? Let's not waste any time, then. What do you say we do something today that we haven't been able to before? Where should we begin? Oh, I know. We can get this place cleaned up. Now that there's some actual light in here, I can see all sorts of things we'd probably rather not. Like dust. All over the place. Interesting. I'm guessing that's from the early time, the first round maybe, and I bet you that was the white-haired girl. When the woman's shadow faded away, the master bedroom transformed back into its old dreary state. Master, can you say my name? I wish. You were unsure how to describe the urge welling up within your breast. You could not say her name. You stood unmoving in the master bedroom for some time, but it did not appear that anything else was going to happen, so you decided to head somewhere else. Be nice if we knew the name. Alright, to the entrance. You made your way to the mansion's entrance. There was no way around or any source of light. Groping through the darkness, you found the front door, which was sealed shut with a heavy bar. You pressed against the bar, but it remained firmly in place. The door did not budge either. It seemed you could not leave the mansion. Ban the witch. Crucify the impure. When you made your step away from the entrance, you heard a muffled voice. You look around, but were unable to determine the source of the voice. Nor could you be sure whom you'd just heard either. Giving up on finding anything at the entrance, you decided to head somewhere else. Alright, to the fireplace. This is where we first met the maid. You made your way to the room with the fireplace. What remained of the fire crackled weakly, leaving your room in a veil of darkness. You remember that you had awoken here. Out of sheer curiosity, you sat down in the rocking chair you'd been asleep in. Creak, creak, creak. It was as soothing as a cradle to a baby. In short order, you found your consciousness drifting from your grasp. Reading a story by the fireplace like this almost makes you feel like we're in another world, doesn't it, Master? I bet that's why troubadours perform at pubs, so they can be near the fire. Oh, you're such a cynic. But that's okay. Say, do you remember when I first arrived here? When I was cleaning the library? Interesting. Your eyelids slowly slid open. Fragments of a pleasant dream lingering on the back of your mind. The crackling of a fire, the taste of warm wine. However, there was nothing pleasant about the fireplace sitting before you. No warm crackling flames. In fact, the brisk air of the room overpowered and remained of the embers left there. A chill ran down your spine. Afraid you might freeze stiff if you stayed there much longer, you resumed your exploration of the mansion. That makes you want to go to the library. Which is right here. Let's do the library then. And then I want to go and visit the flower garden, I think. The smell of the dusty books fills the air of the library. You approach the shelf to examine one of the books. And suddenly, an avalanche of them come falling on the floor. You stare blankly at the mountain of books. They'd fallen down their own, but they showed no signs of putting themselves away. Since no one else was there to do it, you begin placing books back on the shelf. 1, 2, 3, a dozen. And as soon as you've got them all back up, they came crashing back down again. Well, screw that! You wished very much to employ the maid's assistance, but she did not appear to be in the area. Pretending you had not seen anything, you make your way back to the hall. No truer form has ever been described of me as in that moment, where you do it a second time, you're just like, well, fine! To the rose garden. Look at your hair's covered in roses. Blank. Oh, Blake, you got petals on the book. This isn't mine. I can't afford to. Though you couldn't hear the sound of children laughing, you could not see. You could hear the sound of children laughing, you couldn't see them. Regardless, their cheerful voices warmed your heart. I'm guessing that is... Oh, shoot, it's been a while. Mel and Nellie. You decide to linger there in the garden for some time. Along with the children's laughs, wafted a sweet fragrance. The wind blew, whisking flower petals up in the air. It was an enchanting sight. But after a while, the roses began to wilt. You could no longer hear the children's voices either. Huh, who are you? A young man stood alone in the withered rose garden. As you drew nearer, you called out to the youth, but the young man did not appear to notice you. He merely stood there, staring vacantly across the garden. The youth muttered something in it with a lifeless voice. This isn't what I wanted. I just wanted a normal, peaceful life. I can't bear being alone. I can't take this. Someone get me out of here. Oh no. Tell me that I'm not the bad one here. You tried to call out to the young man several times, but he did not seem to hear you. He simply continued muttering to himself. Before long, the youth's shadow faded into nothing. Unable to bear the chilly air any longer, you stepped back into the mansion. Dang. There's a lot of echoes of people. Alright. I guess the stained glass window. Let's go to the cellar. This one's probably not going to be fun, considering what it was. When you descend to the cellar, you hear the beast-like snarling. Along with it came a sour odor like the sound of ripping flesh. You could not see the beast, but you did not make it any less unpleasant. You made to retreat from the cellar. Ah, fetch! But before you could, a shadowy creature lunged at you. You reflexively squeezed your eyes shut. Well, we're almost in trouble. After several moments, you open your eyes again to find a silhouette of a man standing in place of the beast. You and the shadow stare at one another for some time. You asked the shadow a question, and the shadow responded. However, you have no idea what it said. The shadow seemed to be trying to communicate something to you, but trying to make sense of something you could not understand was pointless. Having no reason to remain in the cellar any longer, you made your way back upstairs. Once again, we seem to have an interesting connection with that time period. To the den. The scent of cigarette smoke lingered in the den. However, the room was silent. Not even an echo of the men's chattering remains. Something was moving. Billiard balls. There was no one to strike the balls. They rolled spontaneously around the table. Creepy. The paths they traced across the surface were rough and erratic, constraining that their former master held the cue. The spheres collided awkwardly with one another, not a single one coming close to the pockets. As an experiment, you pull off a ball off the table. In response, the paths of the balls became even clumsier. Having lost one of their targets, they began bouncing aimlessly off the cushioned walls of the table. As you stared intently at the table, a man's voice rang out from somewhere in the room. Yeah? Spinning around, you saw a silhouette of a man. However, you could not make out what the man was saying. The man thrust his finger at the table. He appeared to want you to return the ball. You reluctantly placed the billiard ball back on the table. When you do, the balls resumed endless colliding with one another, never landing in any of the pockets. You looked up to find the shadow gone. Interesting, interesting. Having determined that the maid was not going to appear in the den, you exited the room, making your way back to the corridor. Alright, and the stained glass window. Michael. You approach the stained glass window. An array of pews is arranged facing the stained glass. There seemed to be an air of tranquility about the room. You sat down on one of the pews and stared quietly forward for some time. For a moment, you feel like you were on the verge of recalling something, but ultimately the memory never managed to surface. The maid did not appear to be there. Where could she have gone? You decided to resume exploring the mansion. But we've done all the exploration. Oh. Can I just go see it again? Or is it just going to replay it? Turn to the room, stained glass window. You had searched throughout the mansion, but had no luck finding the maid. You felt somewhat tired, though you were not quite sure whether it was physical exhaustion or otherwise. You had a little interest in doing anything more about it. Taking a seat in one of the pews, you gazed up at the stained glass. Staring solemnly down at you was the archangel said to weigh the souls of the deceased. Perhaps he was trying to weigh your soul. Guess we're calling for the maid. Master? Master! Oh, there you are, Master. You gave me quite the scare. After returning from the third door, you disappeared without a word. Oh my, it was I who disappeared? That is quite strange. I did not go anywhere, as far as I am aware. Nevertheless, I am glad to have found you. I would have been at a complete loss for what you do if you had been separated from you yet again. Shush, phone. Go away. I did indeed say you were that when you first arrived. I have been waiting for your return for a very long time. For centuries, as a matter of fact. That would make me a ghost then, you say? I am very much not a ghost. Would I be able to hold your hand if I were? Saying this, the maid took your hand. It was cold enough to send a shudder down your spine and completely devoid of life. Though as chilling as it may have been, you still took comfort in the feeling of her hand in yours. The maid looked down at you with gentle eyes. After a few moments of silence, she sat down beside you. The stained glass is quite beautiful, is it not? Every time I see it, it brings a tranquility to my heart. A dreadful, deep-rooted curse afflicts this mansion. However, this room is the one exception. Can you feel the purity that hangs in the air, Master? Yes. What is it, Master? You are correct. The stained glass window had been shattered. It was not present in the time period of the previous tale. I wonder. Perhaps it is because the mansion we are in presently resides in a realm separate from the real world. We are in a world constructed by a myriad of memories and histories. I am sure that when you regain your old self, Master, the mansion too shall be restored to its original state. So do try and remember, all right? Oh, yes. Where did you go to my absence, Master? I see. So you explored the mansion, then? And did you find anything noteworthy? Memories. I'm not quite sure what you mean. How peculiar. As a servant of the house, I pride myself in being aware of most everything present within these walls. I wonder whose memories they could be. The key to the master bedroom. Why did I throw away the key? I beg your pardon. You say a painting told you. You could see perplexity in the maid's face. I'm guessing it meant the white-haired girl. You've never seen her make such an expression before. I know nothing of any key. Oh, Master, you should not tell jokes meant to cause others discomfort. But a talking painting, you say? You seem to have a rather vivid imagination. Maybe you can tell the next tale, Master? I'm only teasing. Now, that was a nice break, but we should get moving. The tale I'm about to show you is the last of the mansion's memories. I am certain you will remember yourself after seeing it. Ooh, it's the last? Really? I highly doubt that. I have a feeling there's a secret that we're not privy to yet. To our feet. The final door is not far. And please, do not let go of my hand. Holding your hand, the maid led you to the far end of the room. Crossing beneath the stained glass window, a metal door came into view. Our destination lies at the top of these stairs. There we will find one last door. She pushed open the metal door, revealing a long spiral staircase. Ooh. Spiral staircases are really cool. That's a tiny one, though. Holy crap. I probably wouldn't even fit up those things. It will be a bit of a walk, so let's be on our way. And please do watch your step. This is called an observation tower. Normally towers such as this were built in castles or churches, so it is rather strange that there be one in a mansion. The last door I wish to show you, Master, resides at the top of this tower. Rectangular windows were carved out of the stone in several locations along the way up the spiral staircase. You attempted to peer out of one of the windows, but all you could see was a thick layer of fog. Perhaps the maid's suggestion that the mansion did not presently reside in reality was, in fact, correct. With each step upward, you found yourself gripped by an indescribable sense of anxiety. Ooh boy. The feeling somewhat resembled irritation or annoyance. Sensing this, the maid tightly gripped your hand. There is nothing to worry about. You will be fine. It is all in the past. No matter what may happen, so long as you do not let go of my hand, you have nothing to fear. You and the maid continued climbing the stairs. Up and up, around, marching ever nearer at the supposed final door. I got leaving the characters doubting it. High up in the tower, as light from below drew distant, a rotting wood door came into view. Patches of what appeared to be blood stained the surface, and holes that had been bored into it with sharp objects of some sort. Swords. You heard a scream from far below, where no one should have been. Or maybe bullet holes. That could be bullet holes. Kill the witch, kill the witch, kill the witch. Burn her, burn her, burn her. You were struck with fear. The next moment the maid opened the door. And then... Oh, fetch. This is gonna be a fun one. I can already feel it. You slowly descended into darkness. That seems like a room of final stand. Like where you go to try and protect somebody from a mob that's coming to burn them. 1099. That does seem like it might be the earliest date yet. Absolutely like Dark Ages. When was the first crusade? Wasn't it around this time? Oh, here's the songs. Set on a pot, set on, and also poured water into it. Gather the pieces thereof into it, even every good piece, the thigh and the shoulder. Oh, this is from Deuteronomy, I think, talking about the sacrificial lamb in the tabernacle, later the Temple of Solomon. Fill it with every fetch. And fill it with every choice something or other. Let me get to the backlog. Whoa, wait, what is this? You can try and remember the past, but it's an absolute utter waste of time. Erase everything, all your sorrows, wipe them away for a fistful of happiness. Allow me to show you that you have no need of the past. That's, nope. Backlog. I don't think that was there before. That's interesting. So something in the game is trying to tell me not to look in the past, that I should give it up. Ooh. Now who do I listen to? Because like the paintings and stuff have been encouraging me to try and like gather my past, but the maid is doing that too. She wants me to remember who I am. You can try to remember the past, but it's not an utter waste of time. Erase everything, all your sorrows, wipe them away for a fistful of happiness. I'm going to show you that you have no need of the past. I am freaking out. I don't know what I want to do now. Anyway, fill it with choice bones. Take the choice of the flock and burn also the bones under it, and make it boil well. Let them see the bones of it therein. Okay, so it's interesting. So this is seeming to echo some of the rituals that are described in the Old Testament, or the Torah of the Jews. However, it also seems to have... It also is kind of reminiscent of simply a recipe, because you use the bones in order to make broth. So So the language seems fairly similar, but maybe this is just an old school recipe. Thus saith the Lord. Woe to the bloody city. Yeah, then it changes gears to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum has not gone out of it. Bring it out piece by piece. Let no lot fall unto it. Oh, we're already here, right here, girl. Where is she? Where'd she go? She came down this other way, I'm sure of it. Find her. Find her. And burn her. Burn the witch. 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 Burn her. Burn her. Burn her. Interesting. 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 Then will I leave thee upon the land. I will cast thee forth upon the open field, and will cause all the fowls of heaven to remain upon thee. And I will fill the beasts of the whole earth with thee. And I will lay the flesh upon the mountains, and fill the valleys with thy height. I will also water thy blood the land whereon thou swimmest, even in the mountains. And the river shall be full of thee. And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven, and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. All the bright lights of heaven will I make dark over thee. Now this is a twisting of what I think I remember from Revelations. Definitely says stuff kind of like this, but it's not quite what it actually says. And set darkness upon thy land. I seem to have lost them. Now, where am I? What should I go from here? What am I to do? Darkness spread as far as the eye can see. Not a ray of sunshine dwells upon me. All that strokes my cheeks are tendrils of darkness. Every passing day, every fading hour, my world is engulfed in ebony. There exists no kindness in this shadow, only solitude. I've lost track of how long I've been on the run, wandering aimlessly lost until I arrived at this dark forest. I no longer have anywhere to go. O Father, who art in heaven, I kneel to thee with my heart, and ask thee to bless that blessing. O Father, who art in heaven, I ask thee to shine thy light upon me and show me the way. Please, have mercy on my soul. O Father, who art in heaven, I do love thee dearly. Hallowed be thy name. Please show me the way. I may be shunned and persecuted, and I may have no place to go, but nevertheless I am unable to give up on life and cast aside my hope. Interesting. So she is very devout, despite the fact that they think that she's a witch. O Father who art in heaven, please guide me unto salvation. O Father who art in heaven, please guide me. I can no longer remember when my life became naught but running, when it became endless wandering in the dark. And now, when I've reached the point where I've no longer since forgotten my hunger and thirst, my voice has become hoarse, my vision's gone blurry, and my consciousness begins sinking into a haze of morass. The mansion appeared before me, wrapped in a morning fog that seemed to foretell rain. Ooh, animation. Mansion. Oh my. The mansion comes into view, like the world fading in after a dream. It does not appear as though anyone lives here. All the windows are either boarded up or shuttered, as if it's long since been abandoned. A tower, which seems out of place in a personal residence, stands tall beside the mansion. The whole building seems as though it could disappear within the fog. It has an unwelcoming presence, freezing me in my tracks. However, if this is where you have led me, then I shall follow your guidance. Having nowhere else to go, the mansion is my only salvation, the light that guides my way, and so I must have faith that no matter what I find, no other spirits, wild beasts dwell within these walls, that this is where I will find peace. I highly doubt that. Is anyone there? I guess it is abandoned. That makes sense. It would be more unusual for someone to be living in a house so deep in the woods, so far from civilization, like it's been forgotten for time. I can't imagine anyone spending their days here. I place my hand on the front door. What if I can't get in? I very much doubt I'll find anywhere else to stay wandering around through the woods. If the door doesn't open, then I'll die out here in the forest. I've come to accept much, but I'm not ready to forfeit my life yet. Please, open. The door is heavy, and though it seemed to protest my attempts to enter, it still opened much easier than I was expecting. I was worried over nothing. Looking in, I get the strangest impression light is being swallowed up into the mansion's depths. Rather than going inside, it feels as though I'm about to step outside the boundaries of this world. You might be. When I close the door, it's so dark I can't even tell where I'm walking. I wonder if the window's open. Oh, I managed to fumble my way over to a window. It's tightly shuttered, and the shutters are caked with rust. I'm probably not going to open it without a fight. If only I had some source of light. I can't even see my hand waving in front of my face. It feels like the floor will fall out from under me, and I'll sink into eternal darkness if I don't watch my step. Fighting back the fear, I slowly walk forward, tracing the wall with my hand. There's a door at the end of the long corridor. I pull it open and a wisp of bone-chilling air brushes past me. It's too dark to see anything, but I can feel something different present in the area than in the rest of the house. Unease grips me. Is anybody there? My voice simply disappears into the void. No response. As I'm pushing forward through the freezing air, for a split second, I spot a shimmer of light. Squinting my eyes, I'm able to make out a large window. Unlike the others, it is not shuttered, but covered by drapes. My chances are slim, I imagine, but if there's even the slightest possibility of getting some light in here, it's worth a shot. So I pull open the drapes. It's the picture. The next moment, faint but colorful light shines down on me. It's a stained glass window. From beyond the glass, I can hear the subtle pitter-patter of rain. I guess it finally started. The different colors of light beckon into a blend into a milky white, dim but wondrous. It's gorgeous. Why would someone cover it up? It's beautiful. With a little more light, I'd be... Please do not touch the drapes. Or the windows. Suddenly, I hear a voice. I can sense someone else in the room. The man's voice is emotionless, neither deep nor high. Before long, he comes into view, illuminated by dull orange candlelight. Neither deep nor high. So he's got a... It's kind of like my voice. Maybe I should just have my voice. Oh, it's him again. And was that the game glitching? Or was that meant to be that way? Mitchell. I'm sorry for coming in uninvited, but, I did announce myself. The man stands there, practically blending in with the darkness. He's been there the whole time. He's staring straight at me. His gaze wavers slightly, but not enough for me to read anything in it. The candle in his hand and the light from the stained glass window are the only illumination in the room, neither of which are particularly bright. As a result, his outline is faint and blurred. It gives off the impression that he might vanish entirely between blinks. My apologies. I assumed the house was abandoned. I suspect you would have preferred it to be abandoned. No, not at all. This is, do you live in this mansion? Yes, I have for a very long time. I thought I had barred the front door, but it seems I left it open. What brings you here? If you're lost, I am happy to give you directions. There is a village west of here. It should take you maybe half a day on foot. If you are in need of money, help yourself to some of the furniture. Trade it for food at a village, and make your way to a larger town. This is interesting. Didn't he say the exact same thing? Because we had the memory where I touched the painting that had turned black, or the mirror, and we went and we met Mitchell. But that time there was a lady in a carriage being dropped off at the house, and I think he said almost the exact like this phrase in particular. I think he said that, if I remember correctly. Please allow me to stay here. Could you repeat that? I cannot go to the village. No, I cannot go anywhere. I am no longer able to freely return to any town. I'm being hunted. You seem rather young to be a sinner. So you have transgressed. I am neither a thief nor an adulterer. If I bear any sin, it has been with me since my birth. I will do everything I can to stay out of your way. I simply ask that you grant me shelter until it all blows over. If you wish to know my transgression, I will tell you. So please, do not throw me out. I see. And do you ask this of me, aware of how people refer to this mansion? Pardon? It is said that a witch once lived in this house. And not just any witch, a cursed witch. This house has been tainted by her seething hatred, and all who dwell within in it meet their demise. But you live here, don't you? Like her, I too am cursed. Huh? What kind of curse? The one thing I can tell you is that your life is in danger if you get involved with me. Should you approach my curse, I am likely to take your life. You kill me? Yes, so you do not belong here. To live with me in this mansion is to sentence yourself to death. No matter which path I choose, I very much doubt I have a future. And if that's the case, then I shall live how I want. I don't care what people say about you or this mansion. I wish to stay here. You might think I'm rather strange, but my heart tells me that I must stay here. That is, I'm guided here. And hearing what you have said only reinforces that. What are you scheming? I am not scheming anything. I'm simply tired of running. So if your curse is going to kill me, then perhaps it's for the best. At the very least, you won't be hurting me. You won't try to flay me or tear my arms off or rip my flesh from my bones. And that's enough for me. If you have committed no sin, then why do they hunt you so fervently? I am accused of being a witch. Interesting developments. I think we're going to stop here. We had a lot of exploring in the mansion. No, we just barely started this one. This one definitely seems to have some appeal. Although she's talking to us, maybe that wasn't quite the memory we were supposed to be going for. That might be another clue of the past. But even though it was a while back and Mitchell's there, it definitely isn't the beginning of everything. So we'll just have to see. Ooh, I'm excited. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you spending your time with me as always. It's a pleasure having you here. It's a pleasure sharing these titles with you. Lots of exciting stuff coming in the future. I have been finally receiving some answers. I been wanting to get some art for the channel, and it looks like it's coming through. It looks really good so far, so I'm really excited for that to come out eventually and have some an unveiling of it effectively. I'm also in whisper talks with certain individuals that I don't want to talk about yet just in case things fall through, but I'm thinking we might start having a bit more social interaction with other channels that cover similar topics as I do. So keep an eye out for that. It's been a very exciting week for the channel. And we've continued to see steady growth. Welcome to all the new people who are here or catching up with the series. Thank you for all those who've been sticking around. I look forward to continuing this series. And it's starting to sound like it's going to be wrapping up. So each door I've tended to spend about 3 or 4 episodes. And it says it's the last door, but I'm guessing there's going to be more memories afterwards. And so if that's the case, I'm guessing we probably only have another 2 months left of this one before it's over. But we'll just have to see. It depends on the length of the episodes. Like this one's probably on the shorter side compared to how long it could be, but that's a good stopping point. We have a lot to digest from what we just saw. Plus, my throat's getting a little tired, so I'm going to go take a break. But thank you guys so much for being here today. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you around as always. I can't wait to talk to you about it in the comments, so please leave something in the description. And of course, if you want to chat with me outside of YouTube, go to the Discord. I pop onto it pretty often, and so you're very likely to be able to hear from me if you want to answer a question or you want to recommend a series. Definitely look for the proper places to post it. And yeah, so once again, link in the description. So, thank you so much, and until the next video you're watching me, or hope to see me next, I'll see you there. Hang on. I found something. Oh, I just happened to click because I was curious. I wanted to reread some of that text I saw before, and I clicked this again, and look! There's more! Oh my gosh. Oh. My lifeblood was your sustenance, your prosperity. Upon my blood did you build your lives. A sin so great it shall never be forgiven, and by my blood were your lives extinguished. This is the power granted unto me by God. My blood shall become a curse, blotting out the stars. I am the witch Morgana. Now let us begin a tale, the beautiful finale to this world. Oh, what the fetch? What the fetch? I need to be checking that more often. How many messages have I missed? Or did I really stumble upon this like blindly? If I did, I'm so stinking lucky that I happened to skip randomly at that time and have these weird red messages creeping up, because it seems like they're really building up to a finale. I bet you I missed some of them, but I bet like it seems like they're getting more crazy now. So the witch is telling me to not dig up my memories. She's telling me, because before she said it was pointless. Like, scrabble for happiness and give up. That doesn't sound very good. And then she says, okay, so it sounds like whoever originally built this mansion effectively abused her, used her in some way. And so she cursed them because it's something God gave her, some natural power she has. I am the witch Morgana. The beautiful finale to this world. Fascinating. Anyway. I think this must be the real ending. That's a lot to think about. Guess I'll see you next time.